felt I might have pulled it off, but the two scorecards I didn't think were very fair. I knew I had to really win some heavy rounds to pull off a victory, a decision. I'm a little disappointed with the outcome. I felt like if the same would have happened to me when I heard him, they would have stopped it in a heartbeat. It sucks that I didn't feel like I got a fair shake, but I'm okay with my performance. And if he considers himself to be the number one, I want to see the number 2 through number 5. I feel like I'm right up there.
Thank you. We had a great training camp. From my dad, myself, all our sisters, my son, Herod, who did the conditioning. We came in to do what nobody expected us to do, and I think even though we didn't get the win, I think everybody was a little surprised. I'm sure all you guys thought it was going to be a 2 or 3 round fight. Keith is a great fighter, great champion. We thank him for the opportunity, and we wish him the best. He's a great champion. Can't say nothing bad about him. He's a hell of a fighter, a great person too. We just know that with the type of fight that Josesito fought, he didn't lose, he won. And I know you guys all want to see him again, and there's so many big names out there for Josesito that are gonna, they better be ready, because Josesito's always gonna give everybody a hell of a fight.
Keith Heide from BoxingScene.com. I have the same question for Josesito and Robert, and then a question for Keith. How close, Steve Willis was taking an extremely close look when Keith was hurt in the 7th round. He was right in between you guys. How close do you think he came to stopping the fight?
I felt like it was, could have been one more punch away in many instances of that round. I felt if it would have happened to me, they would have been stopped. I know that. But he could have easily stopped it. But maybe it was, I guess, one punch away.
Look, Josesito landed so many good punches in that round that if the ref would have stopped it, I don't think there would have been too many people complaining. Keith is still a strong survivor. He did whatever it took to survive the round. He moved, he tried to do everything possible. Josesito landed so many punches that if the ref would have stopped it, I don't think, he was very close to stopping it. I don't think there would have been too many people complaining. I think it would have been a fair stoppage, but he didn't. And look, and Keith still survived it and came back to continue boxing the way he was boxing. He fought a great fight. He was in great shape. He's got a great team behind him. We gotta respect that too.
Keith, what were you thinking when you got hurt with that punch, and then for the remainder of the round, you had a lot of time that you had to survive for the rest of the round? What were you thinking when that happened?
Like I said, it was one of the best follow-ups that I had to endure. The straight right hand was snapping my head back. It wasn't rocking me over and over again, but my chin was not tucked well enough. I was standing too straight up. I thought I was on the outside, so I was able to do that, but he was just fully committed to lunging and just taking risk. He took a lot more risk in this fight than I took in this fight. There was a little bit of nervousness because they're right. On certain degrees, at certain times, you don't know what a referee is going to do. And I was moving, and I felt like my movement was evidence that I was A-okay, because it was a tremendous amount of movement. And a lot of fighters that are not A-okay are gonna end up sitting on the ropes and gonna end up taking those punches. And then in that moment, even if the fighter doesn't go down, the ref has to really stand there and think about it and most likely stop the fight. But I think, I possibly could have moved my hands a little bit more to show that I was okay. I was still game. I wanted to fight. But like I said, my movement was tremendous in that moment. I constantly was moving around the ring, taking punches, but you have to be a consciously aware fighter to move like that in that situation. When you're in a dangerous situation and you start getting hit and you start getting wobbled and then you get re-rocked and then move and then get re-rocked. It's very hard to stay consciously aware of your feet and where you want to go into the ring. So my ring awareness, I think, is what allowed the referee to look at me but say, you know, this guy's moving, he's doing his best, he's taking punches, but he's really, he is in the fight. And there was a moment where obviously it could have been one punch away, maybe at least into a knockdown. If it was devastating enough, landed clean enough, could have been a knockout. I tell you guys over and over again, the name one time isn't something that I can do to them, it's something that they can do to me.
Hey, Keith. Congratulations. I have 2 questions. Was ring rust a factor tonight? Because it seemed like when you were moving, when you were, utilizing your footwork, it seemed like you had difficulty positioning yourself. And the second question is, what were you thinking when you heard it was a majority, when the scorecards were a majority decision?
I was confident that I won the fight by outpointing him with the straight punches. You know, he took a lot of unnecessary 1-2s and a lot of jabs in between each and every round. He was committed to trying to land the most devastating blows, but I clearly made him miss from time and time again. A few got in, but I just, when I saw that he was committed to just sitting down, throwing those wide punches off of a few pawing jabs, I just said to myself, you're gonna point this guy. We're gonna box. We're gonna be smart. If we can land another check hook, we're gonna do that. I wanted to land an uppercut. I wanted to land some body shots, and I feel like he was aware. He got caught with a few, but he was aware of some of those punches, and he fought a really good fight tonight. But he did not beat the champion. The ring rust, there was a part of me that, I enjoyed myself. I moved, I ducked and rolled, and then popped, and then I moved and I popped. And there was some ring rust because I could have done more. I believe there's a lot more that I'm fully capable of, but we did what we had to do to win, stay champion, stay at the top. And this is a get back year. I told everybody that I'm going to get back. I told everybody that they are not going to see the best Keith Thurman tonight, but they will see a world-class performance. And I do believe that I gave you guys that.
We're going to do 3 more questions.
Xavier Porter, BrooklynFights.com. Shoot the 5. This question is for Josesito Lopez. What went into the knockdown? Your thoughts and everything after, going down. And how do you rate Keith Thurman power, given the fact that you faced several fighters, several hard-hitting punches, such as Marcus Maidana, Canelo, as well as Andre Berto? How do you rate Keith Thurman's power?
I would say he has decent power. He has good movement, as you saw, especially later down the round. The rounds, I mean. He's a good fighter. I can't say anything about it. He moved quite well. It wasn't the easiest to land a clean punch on him. That knockdown was a little off balance, and he caught me. Didn't feel in danger of getting stopped, but still had to be smart. So, I would say it was a little bit of an off balance punch that he landed, and had to take a knee.
Josesito, Chris Connor here, Fight City Last Call. Last time I talked to you, I asked you why you do what you do, and you gave a great response. My question there is very simple. You first 5 rounds, he has all the answers, knocking you down, and most fighters either just give up or say, all right, I'll fight another day. You kept fighting, you kept pressing, you made this a fight, and you nearly stole this fight from him. What makes you do that? I mean, when you're down, when everything's not working, what makes you just go, all right, you know what? Screw it, I'm just going to keep on fighting, keep on hustling, and not just let it get to me.
Like in life, man, times get tough, but only the tough ones survive. I knew it was going to be a little tough coming in. It was good movement, maybe a little bit of aggressiveness on his part, but I felt like I was tucking in and blocking most of his punches, staying up close and cutting the ring on him, and slowly chopping away. It was a good first few rounds, but I thought I won the second half of the fight. It was a good fight, man. I can't be too disappointed. He was a game fighter, and we put a good performance out for everybody in Brooklyn today.
Hey, Keith, Ryan Sankalia from Ring Magazine. I wanted to ask you, having seen what Manny Pacquiao looked like last week, how do you see a fight with him going? And Dan, if you want to also chime in, I'd love to hear your point, your take as well.
You know, Manny Pacquiao did what he always does. You know, he threw punches and bunches, but he was up against a counter puncher. So obviously his corner was saying, you know, don't overcommit, don't overcommit. They learned from their mistakes in the past. They were, you know, easily able to outpunch Adrian Broner. He did a good performance, you know. He could have done more, but by doing more, it's taking more risk. And every fight, you may not be willing to take all those risks. Like I said, I want to get back into the confidence to take more risk in the fight, you know, because this man took a lot of risk, and it in certain moments it worked out to his benefit. So it's a catch-22. Taking risk may work out for you, and taking risk may be the downfall of that fight. And Manny Pacquiao really didn't want the risk to be the downfall of his fight, so he fought in spurts. He fought at the right moments when AB was on the ropes. In the later rounds, he had great conditioning throughout the whole fight. And you know, he's not the young Manny Pacquiao that he once was, but he still is a great world-class fighter. And you know, if we get that fight, we'd be happy to do it for ourselves, and definitely for the fans. And here's my coach's comment.
Good fight, champ. Manny Pacquiao is a formidable opponent for anybody. But we would love that fight. It'd be a boxer-puncher type of fight. It'd be an exciting fight. And I think the fans would love it. And I just want to give Josesito Lopez a lot of credit. He's one of the toughest son of a guns I've ever seen in my life, and I've been in this game a long time.
Last question right here. Yeah, so for Lopez, is there anything that you think you could have did, to probably win the fight? Anything you think you could have did a little bit better? And for Keith, I know your prediction was to get him out of there in 6 rounds or less, but you got your 12 rounds in. So are you a little bit more relieved that you got 12 full rounds in to, kind of accelerate the whole knocking off the rusting?
As far as my part, I felt like I did pretty good in the second half of the fight. Maybe pushed the pace a little bit faster in the first half. It just, more than anything, I try to fight smart. He's a good fighter, so I had to be smart in there, not to get into too many wild exchanges. I thought we fought a pretty decent fight, and I'm not too down on myself. I'm tired of being this close to winning and pulling off these big fights, big victories against a fighter like Keith Thurman or any of the top fighters that I fought. I just feel like I was just one step away again. And in that part, it's a little disappointing, but I'm not down on myself on my performance. So.
No, I'm not satisfied with 12 rounds. There's a curse in Brooklyn. Never got a knockout. Was my first knockdown, so we're making progress. Making some progress, I guess. Like I said, man, I think each and every round, I'm just so methodical, and I just commit to a game plan as soon as possible. And the game plan told me, don't take too much risk, you know? And I think opening up my punches a little wider, throwing heavier shots around his gloves, some right hooks, some left hooks. There was moments I was like, come on, man, just right hook, left hook him. Come on, right hook, left hook him. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. And it could have been the ring rust because it just was not there tonight. I still did put on a 12-round performance. I showcased my skills and talent once again, which is what I wanted to do. I'm very happy the fans of Brooklyn came out to see my comeback. I got a lot of love and support saying, welcome back, champ, welcome back. And this was a great fight for Fox. You know, this is a brand new thing that is happening in the sport of boxing. I think it's a beautiful thing to see just the banner, Fox and PBC. You know, I think it's just a beautiful logo, and this is the second fight. And what kind of fight fans can complain about what happened tonight? So, hey man, I just really hope that you guys are happy, and like I said, I will be coming back with better performances later this year.
Thank you, Josesito. Thank you.